All right, hello all. This is Jose Rodriguez, and this is my Module 2 assignment, aligning my mission or connecting my mission with my vision, and inspired by the True framework, which I thought was just amazing. I was just reading somewhere where it stated that true creativity is inspired by having constraints, and I feel like having some frameworks allows me and others to provide some creativity within that framework. So I wanted to review my mission statement again. My mission was to empower individuals through adaptable, purposeful education that connects well-being and professional growth, addressing challenges with creativity and fostering confidence in learners. By aligning impactful instruction with organizational goals, I strive to build structures that inspire transformation and make learning accessible, engaging, and meaningful for all. So my vision, using the 3-2-1 formula, how students will feel during my ideal instruction. So students will feel engaged and energized, fully immersed in the learning experience. They feel supported and confident knowing that the content is clear and beneficial. They leave inspired and empowered, ready to apply what they learned with excitement. And I think that that's important because oftentimes we get bombarded with content. I've read a lot of great books with a lot of great information, but just wasn't engaged or able to capture it or really retain it, and then also put it into practice. So it's almost like a waste of time, not necessarily for obtaining the information, but just the practicality of it. And also inspiring confidence that what we're teaching is not out of range for the students, that they are able and to understand, master the information, and put it into practice. And then leave inspired and empowered, inspired to do something with it, and empowered also just with that motivation, ready to put what they learned into practice. So a description of my classroom during the episode of Ideal Instruction: the classroom feels welcoming, interactive, and full of energy, making it easy to stay engaged and involved. And that's also important because a lot of times what we have to teach, especially in my world of technical teaching with EMR instruction and adoption, it's boring topics. And we have to be able to find creative ways to put the learner into the content so that they can retain it and realize that, number one, maybe they are more than what they think they are, and are able and capable of applying that information. So a description of the most important student outcome that my teaching aspires to, hopefully my teaching aspires to empower students to confidently apply their knowledge and create meaningful impact in their work and lives. Again, I'm a director of a training program for a major healthcare organization, and it's important for them to realize that this information that's being taught, number one, it is attainable, but they can utilize it right away to make an impact in their work, which ultimately affects the quality of their lives. So I was taking the same framework from the True framework and just interjecting different concepts, and as you can see highlighted here. So the extent to which the classroom activity structures provide opportunities for students to become knowledgeable, confident, resourceful, and inspired disciplinary thinkers. So we want to make people who may not come to our class with that aspiration or inspiration, but and breathe into them some inspiration that what we're teaching is going to benefit them ultimately in their daily work. Discussions are focused and engaging, not just speaking at people, but including them within their content, providing opportunities to learn disciplinary ideas, techniques, and perspectives, making connections, and empower students to develop productive disciplinary habits of mind. And again, that empowerment comes with that ability to inspire. I think that has to come first and foremost. Moving to cognitive demand, the extent to which students have opportunities to interact with and make sense of important disciplinary ideas and their practicality. So I think that that's super important because you have to be able to interact. I replace grappling. I think that that's a great word as well, especially I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and I can understand that. But more importantly, we want the people to be able to, or the students to be able to interact with that information so that they can put it into practice right away. I believe that there's two stages to learning, the acquisition of knowledge and then also the application of knowledge, and the ability to shorten that gap between the two, I feel creates successful learning. So students learn best when they are equally inspired and challenged in ways that provide room for support and growth, with task difficulty ranging from moderate to demanding. I love this talking about the productive struggle. If it's too easy, oftentimes it's not valued. So if they are productively struggling just a tad, just to grasp that information, then it oftentimes will stay with them a lot longer. Equitable access to content. The extent to which a classroom activity structures inspires, back to that inspiration, and supports the active engagement of all the students in the classroom, with the practicality and core disciplinary content being addressed in the classroom. I think that that's super important, considering, number one, we back to the inspiration and inspiring our students that what they can, what we're teaching, they can grasp, master, and apply right away, but also keeping them engaged. So we do a lot of VILT, or virtual instructor-led training, so it's very easy for our students to be engaged in other activities while they're attending the classroom, and we want to make sure that we are taking advantage and grabbing of their attention, and bringing them back and engaging them into the classroom activities, or in the virtual classroom activities, so that they are able to really grasp what we're teaching. And then focusing on the practicality of it, having them interact, as we mentioned before, with the content, so that they could see how it is practical and it's something that they can do, and not just do, but they can do it right away as soon as they gain access to the system. So also agency, ownership, and identity. So the extent to which students are provided opportunities to walk the walk and talk the talk. And this is back to that interaction. So finding ways to allow them to get hands on the mouse, hands on the keyboards, and simulate what it is that we're actually teaching them, so they can see that, number one, it's not just something conceptual, but it could be transferred right away into something that's practical, and that is empowering to them. This is something within their grasp, and also inspiring confidence, back to that confidence, and to develop positive identities as thinkers. I love this concept, because I used to think that I wasn't a math person, or I wasn't good at this or that. But identity, I think that the self-talk, being able to engage and alter that self-talk in our students, to allow them to realize that they can be what it is that we're asking them to do. Again, back within the grasp of their scope. And then the formative assessments. This is super, again, I'm using the word super a lot, but to the extent to which classroom activities engage the students' thinking, and building on the students' aspirations. I think it's important to know what their goals are when they come into the classroom, what they aspire to do, what roles they're looking to function in those capacities when they hit the floor taking care of patients. I think that that's something for us to understand, so that we can make that connection right away and inspire that confidence, and again, resulting in that advanced practice. So I love this framework. I think it's fantastic. I'm looking forward to taking it back to work right away. But I'm interested in what thoughts you may have in what I've just shared. And again, thank you for spending the last 9 minutes with me as I go through my framework.